are Talk to Me Tuesday on Tuesday, January 15th. I did get the sideways shell finished off and washed and labeled, and I did turn it in this past Saturday. I took pictures there at Project Linus, so I will insert those pictures here. Been doing a lot of yarn work. I started, don't laugh, but somebody brought in a bunch of small balls of yarn leftovers, because we do a lot of folks do the fleece blankets where they crochet a nice border or knit a border around the edge. And it doesn't take that much, and they might buy it specifically for a specific piece of fleece and then, you know, have a bunch left. So they brought in some different balls of yarn, and I took them. Well, I took the solids, and I only took the ones that were sort of like, I don't know, kind of jewel tony, saturated color, no variegateds, and there were two small balls of red yarn, and I only took worsted weight yarn, or what looked like worsted weight yarn, and I took those two red balls and I crocheted the centers of 24 granny squares. So that's my next mindless crochet project, is using up scraps. I have some scraps here, I have those scraps. I have bigger scraps that I can use, of my own yarn, that I can use for some of the outer rounds of crochet. So, and then I will probably have to buy a skein of like black or something, or white, or cream, something like that, to do around all of them and sew them all together. So that is the next crochet project. So like I said, I got 24. During the meeting yesterday, I labeled the blanket, got it ready to turn in, took pictures, and then managed to crochet 24, the beginnings of 24 granny squares out of red. And then the next rounds will be whatever I think goes well with that. There was some yellow and some light pink and some light green and things like that. So that'll probably be the next rounds, and I'm just trying to use up scraps. Anything I don't use, I'll take back. And along that line of use it up, and yeah, and I've been really wanting to knit again. I know I said I don't like wearing hats, and I don't like wearing things around my neck. So what did I cast on Sunday for? But a knitted hooded cowl, basically. And my thinking was, I don't like dealing with scarves, because then you have to like tie them or do something like that, and then it bothers my neck. I really liked the look of this, and it was done with some really chunky yarn, and I have a single skein. I had a single skein that someone gave me. I think they thought because it was called Bernat Blanket that you could make an entire blanket out of that one skein. So I don't know, but I only had that one skein, and I think it was a complete one. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I think so, because I don't think they would have given it to me otherwise as a gift. So I just looked at the ball band and got the right size knitting needles, and I happen to have I like working on heavy stuff with a circular, even if I'm knitting flat. So so I did thankfully have a pair of size 11 knitting circulars, bamboo circulars, which are my favorite, and I cast on and I got going. The hood is actually done, and I'm working on the cowl now. The pattern actually calls for you to pick up and knit. You know, you pick up the stitches and then start knitting. I never do that well. Somehow, whenever I do something like that, where I close around and then start knitting in the round, I somehow end up working as if the wrong side were the right side, if that makes sense. Monday morning, I cast back on, and I just estimated the stitches based on I just guessed, really, and made it divisible by 4 so that I can end with some knit 2, purl 2 ribbing. But I will say this, I don't mind knitting with it, with nice big needles, and I really, it's so soft. It's really, really soft. So for something like this, I thought it might be okay to have something by my face or around my neck, because it's so very soft. So we'll see. And it's not like tight or anything like that. So it's fairly loose. So we'll see. That's what I've been working on. I have not worked on the bear blanket at all since the last video. What can I say? That's it for me. I look forward to watching your videos. Take care, stay crafty, and I'll see you next week. Bye! How was that ramble? That was way too long about something you really don't care about, but that's okay.